Ladies and shish kebabs, Andy here, day 256 of the Inner Winner Show. I'm joined with my co-host, my debutante of the ball, Imogen.
Hi.
That is also known as my girlfriend. And this is the first one we've recorded in
A while.
a while. So you guys listening, you hear these weird little podcasts every single day, but I actually record them ahead of time usually. And over the last 2 weeks, I think I've recorded 3 podcasts, maybe 4 podcasts. I've had a big break. Why have we had a break, young lady?
Because we reached some major...
Because we're fucking rich, okay? And rich
milestones.
people don't do work, okay? Fuck. That's actually the worst misconception of all time, that rich people are lazy. But basically, we hit a money milestone. $5,000 a month. That was a goal that that we wanted to achieve by the end of the year.
Mm-hmm. 2 months
We had to do it 2 months in a row, yep. And we achieved it chronically early by the end, or by the start of April, by 5th of April.
Mm-hmm.
And this was I've been in a weird mood since we did this. You know I've been in a weird mood, a good mood. But I haven't felt that pressure because for you guys listening, I've been under a lot of pressure. Pressure I've put on myself, sure. But I've been very stressed with trying to, do podcasts, do daily content, get to our goals, coach, all that kind of stuff. And it's been this weird, I didn't think we'd get to this goal this quickly. And so there's been sort of a period of what do I do now? And that's not a bad thing. Mm. It's more I have all this free time, and so now I'm in a weird position where it's almost like peace, I think people would call it, where you can actually sleep and you're not stressed. I think people call that peace, and it's been kind of nice. So I've been making the most of that. We've been going on some adventures, some road trips. Mm-hmm. We went to the beach the other day, did some cool shit like that. We had sex the other day. We had sex this morning, but we had good sex the other day. Let's talk about the good sex. What did we do?
One of the girls that we're seeing.
Yep. Little Miss Noisy. We had her on the podcast a week ago. Unicorn, we called her, for want of a better term. But yeah, we had crazy good sex with her. That was fun. That's something. So for context, we're now at the point where the 3 of us can all orgasm at the same time. We can all come at the same time.
Yeah.
I swear to God, that's a superpower.
I'm definitely the one that takes longer.
Yeah, you're holding up the show. You're the asshole that takes forever to orgasm. I say forever, 5 minutes.
Comes very quickly, so that's not hard.
Yeah, she comes in 10 seconds. You accidentally make her come sometimes.
Yeah.
She'll just be oh, can I come? And you're wait, what? All I said was hello. Why are you coming already, you dirty girl? But no, it's fun. So what we do is, I've talked about this on my forums, but you guys on the podcast might not have heard this, but we get her really close to orgasming, which takes no effort. Mm-hmm. And then we just tell her you can't come. And so we have to slow down and make sure she doesn't come. And then I get myself pretty close, which takes, I don't know, maybe 5 minutes. I can come pretty quickly. And then you take a little longer. And so we're both waiting for you, which is kind of this fun game where you're sitting there either playing with the toy or I'm having sex with you and you're using the toy. And you're waiting, we're waiting for you. Mm. And it's really fun because we're both on the edge the whole time. And I'm assuming we're turning you on because you're turning us on crazy. Mm-hmm. And it's this energy of 3 people just going fucking crazy over each other. It's really fucking hot until we come in this giant fucking...
Yeah.
What's the word? Peak.
I guess. I'm not sure what
it's amazing. It's fun. Mm-hmm. It's fun.
Yeah, and I think what was nice about that, maybe not on that occasion, but why that is related to our money goal was that you have mentioned to me quite a few times that maybe for the last year at least, it's been a little bit hard to relax during sex.
Yeah, every time we're having sex, I'm thinking oh, this is not a waste of time, but got to do the money goals, got to work on the coaching, got to make money, got to pay the bills, got to do this.
Yeah, you can't fully relax into it. Your mind's somewhere else.
And again, for context, we should give a little bit of context here. Mm. I've talked about this on previous episodes, but we really went all in with the money goals. You quit your job.
Yeah.
I said, I will pay you essentially. I will pay the bills. I'll handle all the bills. And you be my marketer, as in, when we say marketing, it's not really marketing, but I guess it is. You share my content on Reddit and forums and stuff like that. You get the word out. Hey guys, look at this fucking amazing article, blah, blah, blah. Mm. And so I've been covering the bills. And so that's why we've both been stressed, because this really was all in. I talk a million times about going all in. This was all in. This was sink or swim. we either make this work or we can't pay the bills. Either I get paid through coaching or we can't fucking pay the bills. And, I'm pretty proud of us for making it work. I knew we always were going to. I wouldn't have made this decision if we didn't think we could make it. But holy fuck, I've said this to you a million times. I'm going to crack the fuck up in like a year or two when people, because there will be people that'll be jealous, of course. Like everyone gets jealous once you get to the point where you've made it. People get jealous of Olympians at the, Olympics. Like, oh, you won a gold medal. I'm so jealous. I'm going to crack up when we get to that point in like a year or two. When we have people who are jealous and they'll say like, oh, it's, I'm so jealous of you. It's like, do you understand how much sweat and tears we had to pour into making this work? Ask any entrepreneur, like, is it easy being an entrepreneur? And they'll be like, fuck no. And they'll be like, but you get all the money and shit at the end. And it's like, are you fucking serious? It's like 5 years of hell for the money. Now it's worth it, of course. But that's a side note anyway. I don't mean that to be a not trying to complain there. I'm legitimately going to find it funny when people are like, I'm jealous. People do it now. They were jealous that we're having threesomes, and it's like, do you understand the blood, sweat, and tears that went into that? And you could do it too. And here's the fucking free guide on my website to do it too. Please do it too. I want you to do it. Nah, it's easy for you, Andy.
Yeah.
Because you're a ginger.
We have put ourselves...
Gingers get laid easy.
No one's going to say that. I think we have put ourselves, particularly like Reddit specifically, in an environment where there's a lot of very unhappy, angry people.
Yeah, when you share on Reddit, on some of the subreddits you share on, there's a lot of great guys on there.
Sure.
How many times do we get someone saying like, I found you through Reddit, dude, thank you. Like, but there's also a lot of, like you said, miserable people on there who are kind of just on there to confirmation bias and show themselves why they can't change. And why it's easy for us, easy for anyone who changes, and then they'll come up with 15 reasons why it's hard for them. I'm short, and then I'm like, okay, well, look at the podcast that it's not out yet, but no, it will be out by the time you guys listen to this. The podcast I did with Ed, I did a 2-part series with Ed. He's fucking 5'6", and you show them that, and then they'll be like, oh, but well, Ed's white, and then you'll show them some short guy who's Asian who gets laid, and they'll be like, oh, well, but that guy doesn't have depression, and then you'll show that like, no, this guy was actually fucking like abused by his dad or some shit. Oh no, but like, there's constant moving of the goalposts, like. Yeah. Unfalsifiable. But yeah, that's negative shit. I'd rather this not be too negative. This is a weird sort of podcast. I did just want to come on and do a life update. So let's talk about some fun stuff. You guys watching the video, you're going to see this cute little chicken motherfucker here. If you're listening to the podcast, you have no idea what there he goes. I dropped it. Well, that was smart. I also just paused the fucking podcast, and now I'm going to have to edit that, aren't I? That was fucking smart. Anyway, we won this little cute chicken who won't stand up now.
At one of those...
At this, like, arcade place.
Where you, like, play the games and get tickets.
Yeah, that was cool as fuck. That was good fun. And the reason we're bringing that up is that was, like, one of the fun things that we've done in the last week or two to sort of have a bit of a relax. I have been in a really weird mood. And I'm sure you guys listening will know, will say this podcast is really weird. No tangent. Sorry, entire tangent. No point. Yeah, it kind of embodies the mood that I've been in the last week. I haven't been sleeping that well, oddly enough, because I've been adjusting to keto as well. We've gone on some weird hikes and stuff, and I've just walked around going like, I feel weird. We weren't supposed to make this goal. There's something strange that happens when you have a goal that you've spent your entire life thinking you never could. For context, I always thought I'd be the financial loser. I've talked about that a little bit in the past. I thought that with girls as well. But definitely the money stuff. I thought I'll never fix that. I'll never be a guy who's not in debt and poor, and I thought poverty was just my life. And something weird happens when you have that and you set a goal. Again, we'd set the goal to do this by the end of the year. When you do it in April, at the start of April, you guys listening to this, you'll be listening to it in like May. But when you do a goal like in the 3rd month, basically in the 2nd month, because we'd done it by the 4th of April, the 5th of April, something weird happens in your brain. It's like imposter syndrome. You're like, I wasn't supposed to have made this yet.
Yeah.
This wasn't supposed to happen yet.
And another thing that we talked about as to like why I think you felt so strange about it all is that because it has been such a long time coming of you being like, I guess having negative thoughts around it that we won't make it.
Yeah,
like
I had a lot of doubt.
Possible. I don't know if this is going to happen. And then it feels as if all of a sudden it does just happen. There is that sense of like, what's going on? Like, is this real? Like you said, it's imposter.
It's very surreal, isn't it?
Imposter syndrome is.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like, guys listening, I'm sure a lot of you guys will understand, because a lot of you have worked on your financial goals. I'm sure a lot of you building businesses and entrepreneurs and shit. It just all of a sudden you wake up one day and you're rich, and it feels like, I mean, we're not fucking rich. 5,000 US in a month is not rich when I'm paying all the bills. But we're comfortable at this point, which is something I've basically never been comfortable, apart from like a fucking 6-month period that I can think of. It does feel like you've won the lottery, and there is a sense of like, this isn't real. Like, you have these weird doubts, which is hilarious, where you think like, oh, but what if next month I have like no coaching clients? And it's like, well, that's not going to fucking happen. That hasn't happened to any month in the last like year. Why would you get no clients? What if all my current coaching clients leave? What if they shut down my Patreon and also my YouTube and also like all the other income streams? And you're like, that's not really gonna happen, dude. And if it does, you'll just rebuild. Like, what's the issue? But you have these weird doubts, and I've seen this in a couple of my coaching clients and just guys on my forums and stuff when they get laid, especially. I can think of one guy in particular. I won't say his name, obviously, but a guy who's recently had a couple of threesomes. And he very much has like an imposter syndrome around it. He's like, but what if I can't do it again? I think he's had like 2 threesomes now, like with 2 different sets of girls. And everyone else is saying like, holy shit, dude, you're a baller. And he's got the same sense that I have, where he's like, this wasn't supposed to happen this quickly or this easily. Like, I was supposed to struggle to have a threesome. I've now had 2. Like, what the hell? This isn't me. I don't deserve this. I'm not going to have it again. Like all those kind of weird doubts that come in when you achieve a goal. And that's kind of how most goals go. You've had the same shit with your goals. It's like you get to your goal and then you're like, was this wasn't supposed to be this easy, was it? I thought this was supposed to take like the rest of my life, or I thought this was supposed to take everything I had. And yeah, I gave a lot, but like I didn't have to cut off my arm. Especially I think guys see this when they start getting laid. They're like, wait, did I really just have to look a little better and start talking to girls? Is that it? And it's like, yes, that's it. Yeah. Oh, but I thought that I wasn't good enough to get laid. And it's like, no, you were. You just needed to lose a little bit of weight and dress a little better, take your appearance a bit more seriously, and then talk to a lot of girls. You just weren't talking to any girls.
Yeah. And quite often it is just doing the action. I think we talked about this a lot, particularly with the money stuff. When there have been struggles, it's like, even though maybe both of us have had a lot of limiting beliefs, as long as you start doing the thing that you know you're meant to do, even if you don't think it's going to happen or it's not going to work, but in theory these steps are what you should be doing, then as long as you keep doing that, often you do get there.
It doesn't even matter if you think it's possible or not. Like, I didn't think this was possible. Now, in hindsight, it's like, come on, dipshit, how would this not be possible? Your website is going up in traffic all the time. People love your content. You help all your coaching clients, and then they go and tell other people and say like, oh my God, Andy did all this for me and blah, blah, blah. Like, why would you not be able to make your money goals? Of course you would. And we'll look back in 10 years and be like, why did we think $5,000 was a big amount of money? Like, what the fuck is that? Like, why did we think that was impossible? But as you're working towards a goal, you will have all these doubts. You'll think like, this isn't possible. I can't make it. This isn't me. Other people can do it, but not me. I'm a retard. Like all these kind of weird thoughts. And you do think like, I'm not going to make it. I mean, how many times did I say that to you? I don't know if we can do this. While simultaneously, as you say, still working on it. That's the key here. Don't trust your feelings. And if you take one point away from this podcast, it's don't trust your feelings when you think something is impossible. The interview I did with Ed a couple of days ago, that was the takeaway message that he gave. He didn't think he could make it the entire time. He didn't think he could lose his virginity. He lost his virginity at 31 when he started working with me. And he didn't think he could lose it. He was like, it's too late for me, all that kind of stuff. But he was humble enough and self-aware enough. He's a very intelligent, self-aware dude. And he was self-aware enough to say, I know nothing. I don't know anything about getting laid. I'm a virgin. I'm a fucking dumbass when it comes to getting laid. So why would I trust my own feelings that say this is impossible? And you and I had to do the same sort of thing. I had to say like, I've never been rich. Not that we're rich right now, but I've never been comfortable with money. How the fuck do I know what is possible with money? How the fuck do I know if I can make $5,000? I'm a fucking dumbass. And all the people that I talk to, I'm in a couple of Telegram and WhatsApp groups with people that are really good at this stuff that basically mentor me. I guess you call it mentor, like accountability. I get advice from them. All of them said like, are you fucking kidding me, dude? $5,000 is nothing. Like, I earned that in a fucking day, dude. Like, of course you could do it. And so I had to kind of defer to their wisdom. And I'll say that to anyone listening. If you're sitting there going like, I can't get laid, I'm telling you, you can fucking get laid. Of course you can. Why can't you? I'm telling you, I am the expert. Just like Ed had to trust me, and he says that in the podcast. He had to just trust me when I said you can get laid. Guys, you can get laid. Of course you can. Guys, you can make money. I think we did a pretty good job of... Okay, so the answer is, to finish that thought, when you're sitting there having those doubts, just shut the fuck up and take action anyway. You're allowed to have the doubts. In fact, we had doubts every day, as you said.
Yeah.
Like, every day.
Where?
Every day. Literally non-stop the entire time. And how many times did I say to you, like, I don't think we can make it. Okay, let's just keep doing what we're doing. Let's work.
Yeah.
Let's hustle. Let's try something else. Let's work a little harder. Let's do this. Let's do that. The entire time thinking, like, this isn't going to work. But, like, you just take the action anyway. And a lot of the time you get there, and that's why you have the imposter syndrome when you get there sometimes. You're like, fuck, that actually worked. That wasn't supposed to work. Like,
Yeah.
I didn't think that would work, but it fucking does most of the time. If you're listening to an expert, or I don't like the word expert, but someone who's done it as well and is giving you reasonably good advice. And I got good advice on making money. It was essentially just help people.
Yeah.
That was pretty much the advice.
Like,
Help people. Pour your heart and soul into helping people, which is something I like to do anyway, so that fits my personality.
yeah. Offer value, and then people,
Offer value. Yeah,
people will
yeah.
reward you for that.
Go above and beyond with what you give to people. And that's, if anyone's into content creation or thinking of doing some coaching or advice or anything, go well above and beyond. Like, pour your heart and soul, like, bleed for the person, basically. Like, empathize with them, pretend you're them, put yourself in their shoes, think what you would do if you were there, or what advice you would want to hear if you're them, and just, like, care, basically. Care is a better way of saying that. Value is care. Like, giving value just means you care. So we'll start wrapping up. I got a coaching live stream for the Winners Club in a second, in like 5 minutes from now. This was a weird sort of podcast, but I've been procrastinating doing any just because I've been in that weird transition period between like achieving a goal that was supposed to take till the end of the year and now sort of sitting there going like, holy shit, like what do I do now? Like, yeah, we probably need to come up with another goal, to be honest. You and I haven't talked about that yet, but we don't have another goal yet because I've just been in this weird limbo, which hasn't been a bad thing. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying it's a bad thing. It's been like weird, really weird. It's really weird. Any of you guys listening, imagine you by the end of the year said you wanted to have sex with like 5 girls or 10 girls. And then this month you just have a fucking orgy with like 15 girls. You're going to be like, that's how this feels. You're going to be like, what the fuck is this? Like, it's weird. But yeah, I'll get back to the regular content, normal stuff. And yeah. Anything else you want to add?
No.
Nothing exciting? Speaking of the Winners Club, guys, if you want to join the Winners Club, I will leave a link in the description below. The guys in there are really fucking cool. I'm actually excited. I genuinely do get excited every time I do a live stream with them. Once a week we do like a little live stream, answer some questions. They always ask really fucking good questions. I don't know where they're coming up. If a bunch of them will probably listen to this. Guys, where the fuck do you come up with such good questions? Like legitimately. Like really, really just interesting fucking questions. So yeah. Link in the description below to that. Normal content coming soon. Weird podcast, but I'm in a weird mood. And where's my chicken? Throw me my chicken. Let's do an outro with the chicken.
What's his name?
His name is Fuckboy.
No.
Come on. Bye-bye, fuckboys.